we are beginning to understand how we can exercise more and more of the sovereignty that we know that is inherent, that Wakanda, that Mother Earth recognizes, that the natural laws recognize, that there is an inherent understanding of how we live. And we feel like we have to begin to break the dominion of these corporations. We have to begin to exercise the lawmaking process. So things like the free, prior, and informed consent that come with the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People are indeed honored. I have to really honor the Indigenous people who were in the leadership of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Granddaughters, daughters, relatives that went to Nishude, the Missouri River, as a source of life that needed to be protected for the 80 million people and relatives of all shapes downstream. And now there is a court ruling saying you were right. That is a danger. They did do it incorrectly, these pipelines. KXL being hung up in Montana due to the work of the Indigenous people there, the work on the ground in the tar sands in Canada. All of these things stem from understanding we are on the right side. The fossil fuel regime is crumbling beneath their own feet, and they're struggling to stand up. While they're struggling, we must work harder. And so we come to the place where we are looking at how do we utilize a strategy, a tool that recognizes the rights of our Mother, the Earth, as she has sustained us for all these generations, and we look at every tool that we can. The territory where we live now is being desecrated by Phillips 66 and pipelines and fracking, and we are being killed through environmental genocide here. So we enacted a statute with the help of movement rights, Jason Amont, our attorney, and the sitting council at that time, to simply recognize what has always been there, the immutable Ponca rights of nature. In other words, to recognize the natural laws that have always had the boundaries that we understand so that all life can continue. You know, humans need to step their ego aside and realize that if we don't help with being the voice for those plants with their feet in the earth, for the sacred water herself, for the air that we breathe, and to stop the carbon trading and sequestration and on and on and on, that we are the ones who will cease to exist. Humans have a responsibility to the 7 generations to come, just as the ones before us to do. So in doing this and having the honor of leadership position and taking that sovereignty to that level, we have also invited other nations to come and help teach us and learn from us at the same time, to be part of this lateral loving rather than taking from one another, but to share with one another how each and every nation, how each and every community can utilize this tool called the rights of nature in a manner that fits their territory, their sacred teachings, their original instructions, and can be something that together we can go forward in. So we've also, movement rights has also held intertribal rights of nature forums, iron forums, that have been extremely helpful to all of us. And we will continue to do that. It has been on the ground work right? Standing together and linking arms, literally, like we did at DAPL, at Standing Rock in Nebraska and Washington, D.C., and Ecuador and New Zealand, at the United Nations, wherever we've had to. But now we're doing it this way, where we're going to go into, as we did today, the sacred circle of this webinar way for a period of time until instructions come otherwise. Thank you.